HALFWIT. Phillip Schofield brutally mocks Harry's job advice. He quit as a royal with £100 million deal. Phillip Schofield has hit out at Prince Harry after the royal encouraged people to quit their jobs if it doesn't bring you joy. Phillip Schofield and Holly Willoughby welcomed Vanessa, Feltz and Gyles Brandreth onto Tuesdays this morning to discuss the day's headlines. Speaking as Chief Impact Officer for professional coaching and mental health firm BetterUp, Prince Harry urged those who are unhappy with their jobs to resign, but ITV's Phillip hit out at his comments. Phillip began, Prince Harry has claimed that people quitting jobs that fail to fulfill them should be celebrated as they're putting their mental health first. It's an important message again, mental health, it's always great to talk about it. He quit his job with the royal family, and then got a £100 million deal with Netflix and £80 million from Spotify, so he had somewhere to go. Vanessa replied, "Why do we work? Do we do it because we love to? If we're very lucky, we might work our way eventually in life towards a job that we might enjoy," she continued. "But most of the time, it's very basic things like paying your rent, putting food on the table, putting shoes on your children's feet. Can we enjoy it? Can we make the most of it? If we're lucky, yes, if not, no." Most people don't have the luxury of walking out in a job because, as he put it, it doesn't give you joy. You want it to give you lunch, you want it to give you heat and light, that's the main thing. And then afterwards, you can think about, do you enjoy it or not? I remember my father slogging away, in this warehouse. I think he would rather have been writing poetry actually than selling knickers and bras and pajamas for a living. He did it to keep us fed and watered, that's why you did it. I think it's incredibly rarefied and privileged to talk about it in the way that he's talked about it. Gyles agreed, "My father's life was bedeviled by money worries, and I have to tell you that for good mental health, you don't need money worries. You need a job, you fundamentally need a job, and of course, in an ideal world, we all want a job that we love, and people like Vanessa and me and you too, we're very lucky that we have work that we love. But for most people, they've got to work because they've got to feed the family, and they don't have the luxury of looking for joy in their work. I hope incidentally, they find it through the community of work, through the satisfaction of work, but I'm not sure that from a guy who has taken us $100 million in a Netflix deal to be telling us about the joy of finding freedom in your new working life, it sits not very easily with me." Vanessa added, "It's more of that tone-deaf stuff where they just don't seem to get it. They preach to other people and the life they're living is not in accord, it seems, with what they're saying. It makes them feel extremely out of touch." Meanwhile, Piers Morgan has taken to Twitter to criticize Prince Harry for his latest stand for startup company BetterUp. Harry has been slammed on social media and labeled a hypocrite after bolstering their mental health in an interview with startup company BetterUp. Piers took to Twitter to comment on Harry's half-wit comments in response to an article written on the subject. In view of his 7.9 million followers, Piers penned, "He really is a total half-wit." Many took to the comments to say what they really thought of the royal's latest actions. Flaxman said, "I don't think he realizes that normal people have to go to work in jobs they hate because they have bills to pay." 2T_2L_2N added, "So after the worst 18 months of my career as a physician, should I just quit? That's not how the real world works. There are already staff shortages at all levels of healthcare. If we all quit, then what healthcare?"